Hello, good evening. How is everyone today? All right, I'm going to start in about 5 minutes. Starting in 5 minutes, and today I'll be looking. Um, I'll be looking at BTC in the context of the US elections that are happening today in America, and what could happen next. And I'm going to be talking about my experiences last evening. So last night I went to Donald Trump's last election rally here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'll kind of put my experiences in the context of what I'm thinking about the markets and the charts and everything else that's happening. So that's kind of what I'm be talking about today, and then I'm going to have a look at TRVL. I'm going to have a look at SUI and QANX again, as I did yesterday. And obviously, if there's a bit of time, hopefully, if there is a little bit of time, I'll be taking some requests if there are any requests, to have a look at some other charts. But yeah, that's kind of what I'll be doing today. So welcome, Chili. Chili, it's funny to see you, Chili. All right, yeah, let's have a look at Bitcoin now, and let me just quickly have a look at things. Let's have a look at Bitcoin first and see what's going on. So it's quite interesting. You get a little bit of a push up today. So today is the American elections, the US elections, and it's quite interesting because yesterday I went to Trump's final rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I just wanted to. I mean, I had an invite, so that was interesting. So I obviously took the opportunity to go and have a look. And sometimes you get this kind of feeling that but you don't really know until you go and see. And so I just kind of wanted to go and have a look and see what was going on. And I kind of posted a couple of videos yesterday, and so that's me at the rally. Obviously, I posted that I was going to Grand Rapids, Michigan on November 3rd, with my Dtravel hat on, my top. And then yesterday I was at the rally. I was 4 rows from the front, so I had a pretty good spot to get a full experience of what was happening. There was about 13,000 people or so in the arena. It was packed. It was packed, and people started turning up from about 7 p.m. and they were there all the way to about 2:30 a.m. Okay, and it started to fill up from about 7 or 7:30. It started to fill up, and you had two kind of layers. You had the lower floor and then the upper floor, and the lower floor filled up quite quickly. I'm not talking about the ground floor, I'm talking about the sides. And the stage was set in the middle. Let me actually find some pictures and I can kind of show you what I was experiencing yesterday at this event. I mean, it might not really make any difference to the charts per se, but it's also good to kind of have a context of certain things. So I took some pictures, and so let me just pull up a couple of pictures and I'll show you. Let me see if I can find. So yeah, so this is kind of one picture that will kind of that you can see what I was talking about. I'll just paste it here. So there, you see, that's kind of what it looked like. You had the kind of main stage. This is what was from one end of the stage, and my seats was here. It was around there, and you can see that the lower part was filling up quite nicely. And this was probably by about 8:30 or 9 p.m. And then by the time Donald Trump came, all of that top bit, all the way around filled up. First on this side here, that all filled up, and then it kind of went round all the way up to the top. So by the time that Donald Trump came, I would say it was packed. Obviously it's never 100% packed. It's probably like 97% or 98%. There's always going to be the odd chair, empty, missing chair here or there where people are. It's not always 100%. And what happened was that what was interesting is first that people were queuing up for hours. I don't know how long, but potentially it was for at least about 1 or 2 hours before the event, the actual event opened. And so it opened at about 7:30. Luckily for me, I had a VIP ticket, so I was able to skip the queues and I was able to just be streamlined in, so I didn't have to wait. But I did go from the top of the queue all the way kind of down a quarter of the queue, and it's quite long. I don't know how long exactly, but I would say it was probably about maybe 500, 600, 700, 800 meters long at least when I was looking at it at about 6 p.m. or so. And as we went in, it was quite streamlined. You know, the great thing about Americans is they're very organized, and it was like a machine. And so they took us through security, and it was pretty easy. We got in and we were taken to our seats by some certain people that we knew. And I was located with the people that I was with 4 rows from the front. So this is when Trump actually came in. And I have a video, and I'm going to show you. And I think I posted it on my X. And so this is the vibe. And this is me with my camera. Yeah. And so obviously everyone is standing. Everyone is really excited. And here Trump is coming in. You can't see him because he's coming from all the way from one end through the American flag, coming from the through these kind of curtain type entrance. So you see that some just kind of rotating around. You can see that the top and the bottom is full. It's kind of fuzzy here, but if I kind of, let me just mute that so it doesn't disturb with the, you see it's full, right? You see all the way up to the top. You see how it was full. And what's interesting, it was quite organic. It wasn't, I didn't get any vibe that it was manipulated or that they'd forced to come. They were forced to come, or people didn't want to be there. And remember, when Trump is coming now, he's coming in at midnight. And this is on the Monday evening at midnight. You have like 13,000 people here waiting for 5 hours, waiting for Trump. Or 6 hours, or maybe more, maybe 7 hours, depending on how long they queued. And if you see this, to me, it sounds like the vibe is very authentic. So let's have a look. So this is the other side. So I was initially showing you the front. This is the back, and you see that the audience is packed out all the way to the top. I didn't sense any kind of foul play or manipulation to try and fill this auditorium. I couldn't see that at all. From everything that I saw, the people had organically come, or they'd been brought by friends, and they're genuinely, you can see the vibe, how they're very excited. It looks like they're very excited. that's the video. You can actually watch it on my Twitter, on my X. You can have a look if you want to kind of watch it again. I was kind of, this is where I was located 4 rows from him. He hasn't actually come to the platform yet, so this is him at the platform. So yeah, anyway. So anyway, the video is there if you want to go and have a look. It's quite interesting. And guess what? I was wearing my I was wearing my Dtravel cap. Why not? I've always got my Dtravel hat on, pretty much. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Just to kind of always have my Dtravel hat. I really believe in Dtravel, so why not? I'm going to a Trump rally. I'm not going to wear any other kind of hat. But yeah, it was fun. So that's what happened. And I kind of, my feel, because I was trying to put it into context of what I was talking about yesterday, which was this, which was the sentiment of the market with the sentiment of the gambling market with the sentiment of the price of Bitcoin. And so yesterday I was talking about how poly market and the Bitcoin correlation were kind of going syncing hand in hand. And it's actually quite interesting because today, when I was having a look at poly market, the odds for who wins. So let's have a look together. Poly market election odds. So you can actually, it's quite interesting, isn't it? So look at this. This is quite interesting. So where shall I bring it here? Week. Let's go to a weekly chart. Daily. And so you see, we've had a little kind of uptick since yesterday. It's quite hard. It's not easy to see. Maybe monthly. There. That's probably the best one, isn't it? And so we had a little drop. When was that? Does it tell us? So that's November the 3rd. You see it dropped to 54% on Trump's scale. And then it's risen all the way back up to 57%. This is by November the 4th, 58%. And by today, which is November the 5th, we're back up to 61, 62%. What's interesting is that if you look at Bitcoin, so let me just get rid of all of this. I can't remember what it was really. So, you know, we've had a little kind of buy up, haven't we? From November the 24th of November, that's yesterday, it kind of bottomed out of this little kind of pullback by about somewhere between 4 and 8 p.m. And when you're looking at the poly market stats, you see where it bottomed out here. This is November the 3rd. It bottomed out at 6 p.m. yesterday at about, so this is American time, so I have to kind of adjust it. Let me see, is this American time? No, it's UK time. Let me have a look at my clock. Yeah, it's UK. This is UK time. That's fine. So let's just correlate these markets. Let me bring it to the hourly chart now. So here we bottomed out November the 4th at 9 p.m. And here you can clearly see we bottomed out November the 3rd at 6 p.m. So if I bring it to November the 4th at 9 p.m., we kind of slightly up. So maybe this is leading. Maybe the poly market stats are leading, but they are kind of following each other a little bit. So if you see, there is a correlation. It's kind of, it looks like there's a correlation. Yeah. And I think it's quite interesting that we bottomed out slightly earlier on the poly market chart. And now that we've kind of come up with on this poly market chart, we've come up to 62% by 3 p.m. today, and then we're back down to 60.8%. So we've kind of come up there, and you see on the Bitcoin chart, it's quite interesting because we kind of topped out at about the same time, and we're having a little bit of a pullback. There's some sort of correlation between the gambling chart and Bitcoin. It's very easy to see. It's just not 100% in sync, but maybe it's like 85% in sync. What does that mean? I think it's very obvious what it means. It means that crypto sentiment is extremely bullish if Trump wins. And you can clearly see that because people betting for Trump and also Bitcoin, they're correlating together. And at the moment, it looks as though the market is more bullish on Trump winning in terms of the outcome, and also more bullish on Trump winning overall, because the Bitcoin, as Trump's chances of winning goes up, so does Bitcoin. And this, I think the breakout will be 100% here. And obviously 100% means that he's won. Okay, so if poly market suddenly goes to 100%, that means he's won, because there's no more odds for Kamala Harris to win here. Okay, and I think that's what I'm getting from the markets at the moment. Trump winning is going to be extremely bullish for the markets, and I think it looks as though poly market is leading Bitcoin at the moment. It looks as though even slightly. So right now Bitcoin's pulling back, and if you look at poly market, if I kind of zoom in a little bit and go to the kind of lower time frame a little bit, let me do the last 6 hours. You see we started pulling back at about 3 p.m. and you see here 3 p.m. actually this is going up still by a couple of hours, and now it's pulling back. Do you see that? So I feel like the poly market chart is slightly leading the Bitcoin chart, because Bitcoin is following poly market at the moment. There is a correlation, and I'd be interested to see if this kind of goes up now, if Bitcoin then follows, or if this goes down further if Bitcoin follows. So I'll be quite interested to see that. Can you trade using it? Maybe you could. Maybe if you see a sudden uptick on poly market, you could go heavy on crypto and see what happens. Use that as a little bit of a signal. I like to look at these kind of signals where you get a little bit of a heads up, especially when you see a correlation, but something is slightly leading Bitcoin, but clearly you can see there is a little bit of a correlation. What does that mean? Well, I think what's happening today is largely going to be driven by what happens in the election and what the market sentiment is towards who wins the election. I think nothing has changed. I think crypto is bullish if Trump wins. You see this? Michael Saylor says vote for Bitcoin. So that means Trump. Basically, that's what it means. He's obviously politically correct. He doesn't want to say it, but that's what he means. And what's more is that yesterday you had Joe Rogan come out. Obviously, he's been a pro-Trump supporter for a long period of time, but yesterday he came out with another podcast of Elon Musk, and he's basically come out, for the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. So basically he's saying, I support Trump, vote for Trump. And I think this is extremely bullish for crypto if Trump wins, right? I obviously, in my imagination, I'm pro crypto, I'm bullish crypto. I want Trump to win. Yeah. I saw the vibe yesterday. I thought it was authentic. Look at me. I'm an immigrant to the UK. I'm a child of an immigrant to the UK. I'm not white. I don't have an Anglo-Saxon or European sounding name. Yeah, I have a Middle Eastern sounding name. and I went to a Trump rally, and I honestly, as a somewhat, I'm slightly biased, but somewhat as a bystander, and I didn't feel any kind of racism or any kind of feeling that I wasn't welcome, or any kind of feeling that I couldn't participate or be a part of the crowd, or that I was looked upon in a negative or derogatory or in a kind of racist way. Yeah. And obviously I had a suit on, so I wasn't smelling bad or anything like that. So, you know, I was well dressed, but at the same time, if it was a racist crowd, if it was kind of that kind of vibe that we've been led to believe in mainstream media, then I would have felt it. I think I would have experienced it. I would have felt the vibe or the sensation of how people felt towards me. I didn't feel that. And so in the context of crypto, I'm bullish on Trump. Just simply because I'm bullish on crypto. I want crypto to succeed for everyone's benefit, not just my own. And that in itself for me is a good reason to be bullish on Trump. But at the same time, and also what I'm seeing in the charts and the correlation between the poly market and Bitcoin gives me that kind of feeling. But at the same time, I went to a Trump rally, and I didn't actually experience what certain people have led me to believe. You know, on one hand, you've got the leader or the candidate for the Democrats, Kamala Harris, calling it a fascist, a racist, some kind of Nazi rally. I honestly didn't sense that. I honestly didn't feel that. I didn't get that sensation or experience. So obviously there's something going on there in what they're saying and what's actually happening on the ground in reality. But beyond that, you know, the policies seem to be more bullish for the economy. The policies seem to be more bullish for the world. You know, everyone wants world peace. World peace is going to take away a large portion of uncertainty away from the markets, which means that risk on assets like Bitcoin, crypto can actually start kind of moving. And that's kind of what Trump has been saying. He's been talking about ending the war in Ukraine within the time that he becomes president by January the 20th. He's been talking about ending the hostilities and the violence in the Middle East, and you know that's specifically he talked about Lebanon, and but obviously that probably will expand to other parts of the Middle East, like parts of Gaza, and you know maybe even de-escalation with Iran and Russia. That's going to be extremely pro Bitcoin, regardless of personal characteristics or how you feel about the individual. I think the market is more bullish on Trump, and so I think if people are bullish on crypto, they should vote for Trump if they have the ability to vote for Trump. And if they don't, then we're just rooting for Trump to win because we want crypto to win. Okay. And then that's besides everything else that, you know, people can make their own opinions about all the other issues. But the most important issue for all of us, as far as I'm concerned, is crypto and world peace, because that's going to be the most bullish environment for us, you know. And we are obviously in crypto because we want we have a long-term belief and investment in crypto, and naturally, you know, we want what will make that prosper. That for us, that's more important. I think that's more important than anything else. So yeah, so what's interesting is the poly markets charts. Just looking at the charts now, just looking at Bitcoin now. It's a really nice buy up today. Can you see that? Really nice buy up. Really nice volume. That kind of happened. It started at 2 p.m. So basically the US markets, you see that 2 p.m. and then 3 p.m. 2:30, a little pullback, and then we have a little bit of continuation. We have a little bit of a increasing injection of volume there with the US markets. Let me just quickly have a look at the US markets now as well to see what's happening. So we're kind of front running support at the moment, and we have a really nice buy up. I can't see any gaps opening. Oh, is there a gap? Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap here. So you see it's slightly gapped up. So the US market has gapped up a little bit. That's bullish. And then you have an immediate buy up on the S&P 500. And let me have a look at the Russell, because someone in my stream was talking about the Russell 2000, about the minute that breaks out that we're going to have our Bitcoin bull run. So let me just have a look at that and see. And so you can see here that, again, it looks like we've had a little gap up today, pull back and then fill the gap, and then we've had a buy up. So not as bearish as you think, you know, like it's range bound, isn't it? It's not as bearish as people think. Eventually what needs to happen is a flip of that value area. And once that happens, we can have a breakout from the top of this range. And so until then, we're still range bound. But this is quite a nice bullish buy up, isn't it? We have a little gap up and we have a buy up immediately with this daily candle. On the weekly candle, it's looking extremely bullish now. A little bit of a inverse kind of hammer, like a dragonfly doji in the lows, which could be bullish, a red one. And now we're having a buy up. So we have some indications of what could be a reversal here. Let me have a look at the DXY. Look at that. So this is directly correlating to a sell-off on the DXY, isn't it? And we've been talking about the DXY coming to resistance for a while, haven't we? And now we're seeing a little bit of indication of that happening. Let's have a look at ETH BTC. So ETH BTC is still going down, which is kind of what we want, because we want ETH BTC to bottom out. The minute ETH BTC bottoms out, then potentially we could be in alt season. So we're kind of monitoring that. You can see there's a little bit of continuation there. I've got my targets here about 3.1. So we're still like 10% away. And I'm hoping that that correlates to the BTC parabolic move that we all want, okay? In terms of analysis, I mean, right now we're kind of on edge, because I think the elections are extremely important for crypto. And honestly, I think Kamala Harris winning is going to be extremely bearish for crypto. And we have to be very aware of what could happen. So we've had a lot of people. Who is it? The Tyler, the Winkle brothers. What's their name? Tyler Winklevoss. Is it the Winklevoss brothers? I saw. Was it Tyler? Yeah, look, vote Trump. Vote Trump. What did he say? Did he say? I think he said something. Trump pump starting to heat up. Look, this is the most important election of our lifetime. If you care about the future of crypto, free speech, justice, liberty, and democracy, vote Trump. That's really what's on the line here. And people in crypto haven't made this up. The reality is that the SEC has tried to punish crypto for reasons that no one really understands. And what's happened also is that Trump has come out and he's been extremely bullish and extremely positive on crypto. And what the crypto markets and the crypto people, the influencers, are reflecting that in their messaging. And you're seeing that as well in the charts. And so my idea about what needed to happen was that we need to just put in a higher low, and we need to take out that high. That's really all that needs to happen now. Yeah. The most bullish situation would be some kind of holding this SR flip. You see here we've had a little bit of a front run here, and we're kind of trying to pump back into the highs. If Trump does win, then I don't see why we don't just break out. And that's kind of what I would be expecting. And here is a very decisive moment, because you also, in this context, you could just be forming some kind of higher time frame, whatever, lower high and then down, okay, form for lower. And so what I had before was from Lucky Ape, which was the bearish analysis, wasn't it? That wasn't my analysis. It was Lucky Ape's analysis. And he has this idea. But fundamentally, what needs to happen is we need to break this neckline, let me have a look at the point of control. So look, you see that we haven't lost the point of control. So if you remember from my stream yesterday, I said, how can you become bearish if we still haven't lost the point of control? Like, I've constantly repeated that message. Yeah. How can you become bearish if you haven't lost the point of control? And look, you haven't lost the point of control. So how do you become bearish if you don't lose the point of control? It's just, you just can't get bearish without losing it, flipping it into resistance. But at the same time, I also said I want, if we want to go down, I want to see a back test, a clean back test on the value area high. Remember that? And so at the moment, we're not getting a clean back test. Look, the price is pushing through. So I'm not feeling bearish because we're not getting an immediate rejection, which I would want to see a clean rejection of the value area high. If this was bearish and we had a pump, I would expect a clean rejection and a continuation. Yeah, and we're not getting that. We're getting a pump, but we're getting no respect. We're getting no respect to the value area high. You can see that. Yeah, and I would want to see respect. I'm not getting respect at the moment. Doesn't mean the price can't go down again, but I think if we want to go down, I think I want to see a level respected on a back test, and I'm not seeing that. And in the same way, when I'm looking at the daily chart, I am seeing a little bit of respect on the point of control. Yeah, so it kind of did shoot through it, and so we were kind of looking at it. But look at this, it's looking like a little bit of respect. That was a front run. It's gone down to clean the lows, and we're getting a little bit of respect on the point of control. And that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see a back test. You want to see respect. That was a front run. It didn't manage to get to the value area high. It came down, it cleaned the lows, respect, and right back up to the value area high. We haven't lost the point of control, so why would you get bearish? And actually, what, in the context of what we all appreciate, what we all know, is that the price of Bitcoin is trying to make a higher low. That's all it's trying to do. We're trying to put in a higher low. We're not trying to go down and put lower lows. We're trying to put in a higher low because nothing's changed regarding the market structure. We took out the high here. That's our higher high. We're trying to put in a higher low. Now, no one knows when that higher low is going to come. And so that's why we're tracking it level to level. Confirmation would be a back test of the value area high to confirm it as support. But right now, point of control is holding the price as support, right? So that's kind of where we are with Bitcoin. How far did we get? Look. And so I actually, I don't know if you guys remember yesterday in my stream, I said, we haven't even tested the 236. Yeah. If you remember that, that's what I said. I said, we haven't even tested the 236. And look at what's happened. The price has come down perfectly to the 236. We have a really nice test off the 236 with a swing failure of these lows, with a back test, a clean back test of the point of control. And we're right up in pushing past the value area high. So I think I'm feeling quite bullish. I'm getting a little bit of lag. I hope that it's not lagging too much, getting a few drop frames, but I'm feeling quite bullish here. And I think this has got everything to do with the market sentiment of Trump winning the elections, right? So I'm getting a little bit of lag. Let me see if I can fix it. I don't think I can, because I wonder if I move, if it will help. I'm not sure. Drop frames, right? Anyway, if it's causing problems, let me know. So that's kind of that. I think what I would want to see is, we want to see if it goes up and takes that high. This is extremely bullish, because that will also be a fucking amazing V-shaped recovery with a higher high, with a market structure change. This would be an amazingly bullish shape. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. Just be ready to be extremely bullish. Right now we're testing the 50%, but we haven't tested the point of control. Potentially here you'd be looking for, and the continuation, it would be like something like that, potentially, to go up and take that out for another, some kind of impulsiveness. This is quite impulsive, this price action, isn't it? Impulse, impulse, impulse. Maybe a little correction for a continued impulse. And if we are going to go up, then I would expect impulsiveness and impulsive price action. Right? So that's Bitcoin in the context of what I'm seeing in the elections, and let's see what happens. Some, the altcoins, a lot of them are pumping again and pushing up. They pulled back and now they're pushing up. So you can't really get too bearish on the markets, because you get bearish and then they bounce back, yeah, and you get greens. And so my first thought is Maave 2.2. How are you? 72k or 74? I think if we go up, we're going to go way past 74. I don't think you should even. I don't think we're going to reject. That will be a market structure change. If we take up. Oh, I see what you're saying. We don't know. It all depends on the election. Yeah. Right now, this is looking like a really bullish move, because we've had a really nice respect on the point of control, and we're pushing through the value area high. So this is really strong, a strong bullish move. Again, to go back to bearish, you'd have to fall back into the, and then reject and then come back down. So if that happens, that would change. But right now, I wouldn't necessarily think we're going to stop there, because the target is the top. If you squeeze the top, you've changed market structure. You're bullish and you're going to squeeze through the highs, and then we're probably going into price discovery and we're heading to higher prices. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at. There are bearish situations and scenarios, and I think I've talked about those in yesterday's stream, and that was basically to reject from 78k. Okay, much higher, and that was based on the normal chart on Lucky Apes idea. If I go to the regular chart and put this channel back in, you see that for some kind of top of this channel for a rejection. But anyway, these are just ideas. We have to see how it plays out. So that's kind of Bitcoin, and I think we'll know with the parabolic move. And so what I want to see is ETH BTC capitulate, yeah, and for Bitcoin to go parabolic at the same time. I want to see a capitulation of ETH BTC. I want to see BTC go up parabolically, and I want that to correlate with BTC dominance going up as well. Yeah, I want to see this go up, and potentially if this goes up, in this context, it would probably has to continue all the way up to like something like 64%. That's kind of my target now. So my targets have changed because it's just pushing. And so if we get like a parabolic move, I'll be looking for us to go much higher on BTCD. I'm looking for ETH BTC to drop all the way down to here, and then I'll be looking for BTC itself to go parabolic. So that will be where a lot of altcoins will start dumping into BTC. You'll start getting weakness on the altcoin BTC pairs across the board. So you can see right now on TRVL, you see this is on the KuCoin. You see these charts are telling us the same thing but in different ways. This is on KuCoin. We're getting a pullback because we came into the value area low. If you look at the created chart that I made against Bitcoin, and if I pull that to adjust those volumes, let me just go like this. So this is interesting. So we're getting a pullback here again on the ETH on TRVL against BTC. In this context, we're looking to kind of, it's interesting because you have the point of control all the way down here, but potentially if we have a market structure is bullish, you see higher high, higher low, higher high. If we go down and put in a lower low, that will be a lower low. So you don't want to see then this, that would be terrible. What you would want to see then is a really nice bounce and then a nice V shape to take out that highs. That's kind of, I don't know what this pullback is going to be like, and it really depends on Bitcoin and how crazy Bitcoin becomes and gets, the altcoin USD pairs will still go up. It's just the altcoin BT pairs will pull back, because for a period of time Bitcoin will be going up parabolically, and it'll be drawing the value in from the altcoin market, and so you're gonna get all the altcoin BT pairs pull back. So here in the context of TRVL, it's actually expected. It was a pullback was expected, and that's kind of what you will get. In this context, you know, the best place to buy would obviously to fill the gap, come down here and bounce off this point of control. And actually here I can tell, it's obvious the point of control has moved up a little bit. So I'll be tracking that and seeing how that correlates to the USD value. It may not mean the USD value goes down, because if Bitcoin is going up, all the altcoin USD values are also going up. It just means that the BTC pair will go down and Bitcoin will actually be going up faster. So actually it's better in terms of percentage increase of value. It's better to be in Bitcoin and not in altcoins for a period of time. Okay. And so you'll get this pullback on the BTC pairs, but the altcoins won't necessarily, like, and right on TRVL, we are getting a pullback, but it won't be as drastic. It won't be as aggressive. Yeah. And so that's all it will look like. Yeah. And actually on ETH, it won't even be, there might not even be such a pullback, because ETH will also be pulling back against Bitcoin. So then we have to see which altcoins perform better against ETH too. So I'm feeling quite bullish on Bitcoin just because it's pushing back off of a nice back test. Doesn't mean that it can't form some kind of ABC structure and continue to go down like that to go up. That's always possible. But at the moment, what I'm seeing in weakness, I'm not seeing weakness at the moment. Okay, I'm seeing nice back test of this point of control. I'm getting a little bit of lag. If there's any lag, let me know, because if there is, I'm just going to cut my stream. I'm getting all these kind of, it's flagging me. What else did I want to quickly have a look update on? I wanted to have a look at SUI. I've been talking about SUI a lot. I'm extremely bullish on SUI. I think everyone should have a position on SUI. I'm going to be talking about SUI a lot over this period of time, this bull market, however long it lasts, because I'm really bullish on it. You see, these are the strong coins because you get the bounce. The bounces are really, really nice. Yeah. So we've already bounced 10%. And you're getting quite good volume. Could this be the next impulsive move, an impulsive wave? Could that have been the correction? That, you know, there's lots of things that could have been it. That could have been it. Yeah. So I did talk about this before, about this kind of impulsive move. Could we be in a new impulsive move? Yeah, it's very possible that the new impulsive move has happened. If we start taking out the highs and going up, then we're in another, and SUI will lead the way. Okay. So let's see what I do. So yeah, so it didn't do that, so I can get rid of that. And I think it's looking quite bullish. It's looking quite strong, isn't it? The impulsive, you're putting higher lows here, and then you're getting quite good volume. So I'm quite bullish on this. And the reason why I'm bullish is because before Bitcoin went up to put in a higher high, SUI went and took out its own all-time high. That's why I'm bullish. And the pullback here hasn't been bearish at all. It's been a very light pullback. And now we're getting the bounce on SUI, and look at it. Look how strong this bounce is. At the moment, this is looking like a bullish engulfing candle on the previous day. Really bullish reversal pattern forming here. If we close higher now, that's a bullish reversal pattern with a bullish reversal candle after you've had this bullish impulsive candle here, pull back, and then you have a bullish reversal here with a bullish. This is looking really bullish. Okay, and so I'm quite interested to follow this and see what's going on. Anyway, we've been like looking at this wave 2 completing and then starting a wave 3. If SUI now starts to kind of impulse take out that high, I think confidently say we're in a wave 303 here. Yeah. And then I'll be seeing some quite impulsive, I'd like to see some impulsive moves to higher prices. I've done some price discovery fibs, haven't I? And so I've got some ideas for higher targets. Ultimately my big target here is about 5.5, 5.6, 5.7. Ultimately, that's really my target if we do break up with some kind of price impulsive move into price discovery. Don't know why I'm getting lag. It's really frustrating me. So anyway, I might have to cut my stream up because of the lag. Let me have a look quickly at QANX as well. So I've been following QANX as well. And, you know, yeah, yesterday when I was talking about QANX, I said nothing's really changed. We're in some kind of accumulation pattern. I've been talking about this level here. And you see how today we've gone down and we've had a little bit of a really nice buy up with some nice volume. Front run this level. So I'm quite bullish on this actually. Just we have to see what happens with Bitcoin, but we're kind of getting the reaction that we want. This is really bullish. If that's a front run of a level that people are looking for, and if it's been front run, so if you're waiting for lower at this post-hack value area low, and if we've actually had a higher low here and it's been front run, then it's going to get a lot of people are going to kind of feel like they've missed out if you're looking for lower. And that's why it's important to dollar cost average in, so you're catching the lows rather than trying to guess the lows. Yeah, because we can clearly see that we're forming some kind of low here, some kind of accumulation. The confirmation here obviously is going to be to go back above the point of control and to flip it back into support somehow. That's the confirmation. But here we're getting a really nice bullish reversal again. If we see continuation, then this is going to look really bullish. Yeah. And at the moment what you're seeing is a little bit of a front run of this level here, which I called out to be an SR flip. It was based off what I read off that tweet yesterday. Someone said that they were looking for slightly higher, even though I said this would be the best place to buy at 2 cents. Someone had mentioned that it was slightly higher, so I kind of looked at that and said, yeah, that's probably correct, because we were looking at an SR flip. And here you can see that there isn't even a swing failure. It's a little bit of a front run of that level. If we get continuation, go up to the point of control, flip that into support with some kind of impulsive price action, then this is going to actually look like potentially the beginning of an impulsive move. Yeah, we're already back above that level. That's a swing failure or a failed auction of that level, and so this is actually starting to look really strong. Confirmation here would be, again, to get back above the point of control, flip it into support. Then obviously naturally what we want to do is just get back above that value area high, flip that into support very quickly. We want to see kind of quick impulsive moves. Yeah, and that's kind of what I said. I said in the same way that we got back above there, I want us to get back above there to go up. Okay, so I'm really kind of bullish on QANX. It's a low liquidity environment, so you have to wait, you have to buy in the dips to get the best prices, because not many people are selling. And yeah, this is looking like basically what I've been saying, in a bit of an accumulation zone here. But this is looking quite nice, isn't it? When you look at the lower time frames, you can see the volumes coming in. Look, bit of buy up. That was the sell, and it was just captured. Look, someone sold, and the limit orders absorb the price, isn't it? You can see that. If I look at the other chart on QANX, and let me see if I see anything differently. Let me see. No real difference. Just the potential forming of some kind of bullish reversal engulfing candle here. Let's have a look at the weekly time frame here. Yeah. There's a weekly level there that it's come off here, closed off on that weekly level. We've gone down, taken the liquidity, and now we're coming back up. I think we need to see Bitcoin explode. Actually, that's what I want to see next. I want to see Bitcoin explode. This is QANX against Pancake Swap. So look at that. It's coming to the trend line there. This is against BTC, so we've kind of lost this low. Remember, I talked about it yesterday. I was saying potentially it wasn't good that we lost that low. So actually, against BTC, it is possible that BTC will run first, will reject here, and will continue going lower against BTC. I think this is very possible. Yeah, in this context, it could make sense that we actually fall down again. We lose value against BTC. Doesn't mean we're not going to go up in terms of USD value. And again, see if we've actually just reversed, you know, so it hasn't actually gone down to where I thought it could go. So against ETH, we're looking quite strong. But against BTC, we're still looking quite weak. And against Pancake Swap, we're kind of in this accumulation range, potentially ready to break up as well. All right. Again, I'm getting a little bit of lag and I don't like that. So I don't know what the quality of the stream is going to be like. So I'm going to end the stream now. And hopefully tomorrow I can do a better stream. Probably roughly about the same time in the evening sometime, which is going to be in the US time. It's going to be sometime about 10 or 11 a.m. All right. Hope you have a good day. Let's hope that Trump wins. We'll see what happens. Huh? We'll see. Actually, I haven't had a look at exo charts. Let me just quickly have a look at that and just see if I see any kind of clues on exo charts. Yeah, actually, this is quite interesting. So we have the single prints on Bitcoin. The single prints are between 68930 and 69110. Single prints are really good places to buy Bitcoin if we get a back tester. So if we get a pullback now, we come into this single prints, that would be a really kind of easy buy, these single prints, especially if it comes back to test the VWAP and kind of comes into the single prints. So that's quite interesting. And it's good that we put in some single prints because single prints act as support levels. They're like gaps when they form. You can see here on the order flow, that was a really nice with leverage buy there. Let's see where we put the single. This was the single print here. Look at this. This is all with leverage. This is healthy buying. Yeah. Increasing OI, increasing prices. Really healthy buying. CVD went down. Look at this. CV went down. It put in a lower low on a CVD. The price has gone up. This is really bullish. This is really bullish order flow on this range. And so actually just looking at this, I'm probably going to buy some Bitcoin. Honestly, I'm looking at this. I'm feeling quite bullish. Now, we are getting a little bit of bearish CVD here. You see that? Higher CVD, lower highs. So potentially we're going to go for a pullback first. And if you are looking to get in, then 69100 would be amazing. 1000 lower. And then that could be a good place to buy. Because I'll be expecting to see a bounce off that if we go down to hit the single prints. Looking here now, there was some single prints here as well, and the price wasn't able to get to those single prints. So I haven't looked at this since yesterday. And what's interesting here is that it came down to the buying tail. It found support, came back up. See the buying tail came back up, and then yeah, I'm feeling quite bullish. I'm feeling quite bullish. Doesn't mean the price can't go down before it goes up, but the fact that we're putting gaps here is really nice. Let me have a look quickly as well at something else I wanted to quickly have a look at. Oh, gosh. Let me have a look at Tesla. I wanted to have a look at Tesla. Where is it? Where are you, Tesla? Tesla's gapped up as well, hasn't it? It's gapped up. So Tesla's looking quite stronger. And then let me just have a look at these yields as well. That should come down.